had about a 60 or below sub 60 percentage completion percentage. Justin Fields only had about a 62% completion percentage last year. And so he needs to get better in that piece of his game to become a better quarterback and not so much of a fantasy quarterback. So his feet are going to keep them in games. His arm is going to win them games. And that's where I'm always so scared about. I'm scared about that passing or receiving core. Go ahead.
But these elite, it's a little bit data reference, but I mean, think about the guys that used to put up, 1,000 yards or close to it, being a great fantasy quarterback. Think about Randall Cunningham, 30 years ago. Think about Michael Vick, 15, 20 years ago. Even Lamar Jackson now. These guys, they're putting up the passing yards too. I mean, they were putting up at least 32, 34, 3,500 yards in addition to the 1,000 yards and multiple rushing touchdowns. And then even through the air, 17. Like if he's going to be like, fantasy god here,
he needs to add 1,000 yards passing.
He's going to have he's going to have 22-42 is pathetic. I mean, that's like, 1965 numbers. Like it's not going to cut it, dude. Like he needs like, I would say baseline 3,200 yards, 3,200 yards passing, baseline 20 touchdowns through the air. And, he gets those 1,000 yards, gets, whatever it ends up being, 5-6 rushing touchdowns. It's a damn good year.
So this is all we're going to see from Justin Fields.
Touchdown Bears.
That's all we're going to see from him is touchdown, touchdown, and touchdown.
That's all.
Here's the scary part. And Eli noted it perfectly, is that your Lamar Jackson could be a top 5 quarterback because not only can he get you 1,000 with his feet, but he can kill you in the air. If Justin Fields can't figure that part out, defenses will scheme him right out of that game. 1,000 yards would be extremely hard to come by, and then the injuries will happen.
Yeah. I have to agree with you there a little bit too as well. I mean, overall, their offense was 28th overall. The rushing, they were first in rushing.
They should have been.
They were dead last. So I mean, hopefully with the addition of DJ Moore and get Darnell Mooney right, let's get Chase Claypool right. I think this could be a different looking team. But yeah, like you mentioned, if Justin Fields can get that passing down, his passing, now I just lost my train of thought there. If he can get his passing correct, if he can get that right, I mean, he can be a 3,000 some odd passer with the upside with 1,000 some odd rushing.
Yeah. He has to be. If they're going to compete, he has to be a quarterback, not a fantasy quarterback.
Yeah.
So. But for fantasy,
oh yeah, absolutely, and he'll be. Where do you think he goes? Like we've done a few mock drafts here, but where would you guys, kind of place him in? Like let's say this is an average 12 team draft. An average
in most analyst leagues and stuff like that. Usually Fields is a 4th rounder, but in a just public, just average guys like you and I, probably 2nd rounder. 2nd or 1st, either one. Well, not 1st. Actually, 2nd round more than likely.
It's like with Watson. It's like I think that the sky's the limit for Christian Watson. I think the same thing with Justin Fields. Like fantasy wise, I don't think it's going to translate to wins. I got the Bears going 5-12, but like fantasy wise, we don't know what his ceiling is because if he can figure out the passing part of it, I mean this guy will be lethal. I mean this will be Lamar Jackson circa 2019. Where you can't stop.
I'm going to put him in a mid 3rd round, and if I'm picking there, I'm going to pass on him. I just
doesn't get apathetic.
Yeah. But for me, if you're in a league with me, unless Jalen Hurts is there in the 3rd round, my quarterback is coming late, and that's just how I draft. But it's so scary. Superflex. Now we pushed him up. Now he's easily,
pretty much-
easily a second round.
Yeah,
But,
well, those are two QB leagues. Yeah,
Yeah.
in a two QB or even deeper, totally second rounder.
yeah, yeah, and I think that's fair.